So you just finished your comic or you're about to finish it. Biggest question you're probably asking yourself is, where am I going to post this thing? How am I going to get readers? I don't have all the answers, but I can help you narrow down those choices. So stay tuned for another episode of Panels in Progress. I'm Chris, and today's episode is all about sharing your comic online. You have so much blood, sweat, and tears put into your comic, and the next best thing is to put it out there to the world. And believe it or not, there are so many options out there. There's options for manga, there's options for comics, and there's a little bit of discussion of what's the best one. And full disclosure, I'm not sure what the best one is. There's so many options and there's so many things, especially if you are indie creator like myself. 9 times out of 10, you already don't have an audience. So you're just wanting to be discovered on one of these websites. So let's talk about the big ones that we already know about. Webtoons, Tapas, Global Comics, Comic Fury is out there, as well as the ability to create your own website. And let's not forget, Instagram is possibly an option as well. Or maybe Facebook. With so many options out there, it's kind of hard to decide which one is the best one for your comic. And it also depends on what type of comic you have and what the length of the comic. For instance, could you post a epic story on Instagram? I mean, yeah, you have the ability to post 15 carousel images. However, is that the best format for your comic? Possibly not. But if you're posting short funny comics or short comedy comics, then yeah, possibly Instagram might be the best one. Or Facebook. I mean, just pick. It's fine. But let's talk about longer format stories. Let's start with Webtoons. I have personal experience with Webtoons posting on the Canvas area of Webtoon. Those are the ones who basically you're working for yourself to promote your own artwork and your own comic. Webtoons Canvas is great. Immediately you're going to have access to a massive audience, especially if you're making romance, fantasy, or slice of life comics. It's specifically designed for mobile readers, so it's in that vertical scroll format. However, I have seen people post comics in the traditional page format. I wouldn't recommend it because if you're viewing your comic on a mobile phone and the pages are sized down, it's going to be hard to read, and most likely the reader who is already used to vertically scrolling is not going to put in the extra effort to zoom in. There was one comic, it was actually for Avatar. It was like Avatar The Last Airbender fan comic, I think. Don't quote me. But I was so excited for this to come to Webtoon. I thought that it was going to be in the vertical scroll format. When I got to it, it was just traditional pages posted on vertical scroll. And even though, I took the time to zoom into each panel so I could see it, it became tedious and I stopped reading the comic. So, like I said in previous episodes, don't give your readers a reason to scroll away or click away with so many webtoons and comics on Webtoon. Let's make it easy for your comic. If you're going to post it on Webtoon, take the time to reformat it into vertical scroll. There are many YouTubers. There's a few YouTubers out there that go over the process. I thought about going over the process myself. If you're interested in that, please leave a comment below and I will definitely make a video based on taking a traditional style comic and putting it in the Webtoon format. If not, there's one by White Manga that he just recently did, and there's a few others out there that are a little bit older, but if you YouTube search it, I'm sure you'll find it. Now, the cons of Webtoon is the competition is huge. When you get on that website, it seems like everyone you know is making a comic or has a comic on there, so it's very easy to get buried. If your style of storytelling or genre isn't popular, then it could be hard to find a good audience. For instance, horror is not necessarily a bad genre on Webtoon. However, post frequency does seem to matter. I was able to have people read my comic and comment on it all through just posting it on Canvas. I recommend it, but just be aware that if you know that you're not going to post a lot, you might get a small pop in the beginning of readers, but it probably will die down as Webtoon is always promoting what's new and what's current. And also for Webtoon, monetization is available if you hit their parameters for an audience. And I think I listened to one YouTuber, her name is S. Morishita. I'll try to find her username to her YouTube channel and paste it somewhere here. But she shared how much money she was making from Webtoon, and the numbers, it was fine. I mean, it wasn't anything that she could quit her day job over, but every little bit helps. And Webtoon also does allow you to add your Patreon link. So if you have a following on Patreon, then that's another way you could possibly make money on Webtoon. Let's move on to Tapas. Tapas is very similar to Webtoon. I don't personally use it. I'm not necessarily a fan of the user interface for readers. I haven't even tried it for posting my comic, but most people would say if you have the ability to post it on Webtoon, you might as well also post it on Tapas as well. They have a little bit more genre diversity, sci-fi, action, BL, niche stories. But the caveat to that is that their audience is a lot smaller than Webtoon. But that means that if you're posting on Tapas, you might have the ability to actually stand out and be discovered quicker than you would on Webtoon. They also have built-in tipping features for more creators, and it's not just having to be the top tier of comic creators. One of the things is that vertical format still is more prevalent on Tapas. However, you can post traditional style pages on there as well. It will allow it. But of course, similar to Webtoon, the pages will feel a bit cramped. I guess the takeaway for Tapas is if you want a solid option but a little bit smaller, more niche group, then Tapas would probably be a good selection for you to push your comic on. Next up is Global Comix. And I actually just started posting on Global Comix with my last comic, Doppel. So I have a little bit more interest in this website because it actually allows you to have a clear option for both. You can post vertical scroll as well as traditional pages. And if you post traditional pages, the reader gets to select how they want to view those pages. They could view the pages as a whole entire page like in a regular book, or you could specially select each panel and drive the reader's eye through the page. I actually took the time to do that for my own comic, and I found the tool very helpful, and it made it very easy to guide the reader's eye through the comic the way you want them to read it, not the way they want to read it. Global Comix has a wide variety of genres and types of comics. I was very impressed by the functionality of the website and being able to even post how often you're going to post the comic. You can post that it's a one shot. You can post that it's an ongoing series. You can even share that you plan on posting weekly, monthly, quarterly, or yearly. I found all of those things very eye-opening. The ability to allow your reader to know exactly what they were getting into long before they opened the comic was a nice touch that the other websites don't necessarily do. Now, of course, Global Comix is still getting their foothold. There is a lot more things coming to Global Comix, but it is still a smaller audience than Webtoons. Let's think of Webtoons as the very top, and there's everything else. But I like the idea of Global Comix where if you happen to make Webtoons, if you happen to make traditional style comics, you can put them both here and it'll help you optimize it for the reader. That's a benefit within itself. And of course, there is traditional style where you make the pages and you create your own website to share the work. This is the older method of doing things. When I was a little bit younger, that was the preferred method, is that if you had a webcomic, you also had a website to post it on and host it, and you handled the updates, and people had to come to your website to find your comic. I'm not sure how valuable this is today. A lot of people are going to an app specifically and reading comics on that app. If they're on that app, they'll read them. If they're not on that app, they won't read them. I don't find people really going to websites. Maybe, please, if you have experience with going to your favorite creator's website to read their comic, please let me know in the comment section below, because that's amazing. I would assume that if you have your own website, you also have an audience that's already aware of that website. If you don't have an audience and you happen to have a website, it means that you're constantly going to be sharing the link to this website and trying to grab attention from other websites to bring to your website to look at your comic. And I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I think that if you can do it and you have the manpower to do it and the willpower to do it, then definitely having your own space to decorate and control is probably still the best option. It's just a matter of, do you understand how to get the audience to your website? But if you don't know how to get the audience to your website, then maybe it's not the best idea. So for that one, please pick the best one that'll work for you. Now, I can't go over all of the websites that are available for comics posting or manga posting. There's plenty of websites out there. Drop them in the comment section below of what links, what websites people should be paying attention to, which ones are up and coming, which could be the next Webtoons. This is a community. We need to share this information, because at the end of the day, all we want to do is have someone, hopefully multiple people, read our comic. So if we can help each other gain the information of where to post, then it's only going to make the comic community better for it. When picking where to post your comic, try to figure out, if you know that you've specifically made a vertical scroll format, then maybe you want to lean towards Webtoons and Tapas. If you specifically made a traditional format comic, then either you have a couple options. Either you have Global Comix or other websites, your own website, or you can transform your comic into a Webtoon or Tapas format for easy reading. I guess to reiterate, it's already hard enough to get attention from readers. There's so many options out there. There's so many amazing comics out there, so many amazing mangas, Webtoons, so many things that we could read. Let's give our audience all the reasons to stay reading our comic. So once again, my personal experience is posting on Webtoons and posting on Global Comix. Even with Global Comix, I have to share the link to where I think people are going to read it, as well as promoting it here on my channel, here on the podcast. So I did just create a comic. It's called Doppel. It's a one-shot horror thriller comic that's about a woman whose husband comes home from a routine business trip and he's acting super strange. I took a little bit of inspiration from Stepford Wives, The Faculty, Animorphs. If you're into any of that, please check it out. The link's going to be in the description. I would love if you guys read my comic. I put a lot of work into it and would be happy if you read it and let me know what you thought about it. That's all for today's episode. Hopefully you guys make the right decision on where to post your comic, and let me know. What's your experience with Webtoons? What's your experience with Tapas? Are you Webtoons dominant, where you think Webtoons is the end-all be-all to post, or have you found success on Tapas? Post it, let me know. I'm very interested. Have you also tried Global Comix or Comic Fury or any of these other websites are out there? If you're finding a lot of success on any of them, let me know. I'm really curious, because when I make my next comic, I'll be going through the process all over again of where should I post my comic. So thank you guys. Hopefully you're still making progress on your projects, and I will see you in the next episode.